Hey, welcome back to an all new episode of The In Between. I'm your host, Elizabeth Cheney. And I guess I should be saying, welcome back, Elizabeth, to The In Between. Oh my goodness, yes, your girl took a little break. She took a little break. You know, sometimes we need breaks. And as I was laying out this week's episode, organizing my thoughts, always a fun pastime of mine, but organizing my thoughts and the topics and things I wanted to hit, I was thinking about the order. Do I give all the life updates and all the things that have piqued my interest over the past few weeks since we last had a one-on-one session? You know what I mean? Or do I just start with like what's been going on and why I needed a break? And since the in-between is all about real, authentic conversations, honestly, I don't even know if I could be fake if I'm being completely frank with you. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get into it because this is a safe space. Y'all my peoples. At least I would hope so. If you're listening to my podcast, you're into me. But I wanted to get into my lost girl era. That is what I'm calling it. What it really is just depression. Not that depression's a bad word, but for me, I'm going to reframe it as my lost girl era. So I'm going to try my best not to make this like some very long, layered journey for a story, like turn it into a quest, because I think I can do that. Not that I'm a bad storyteller, but like we got lots of things to talk about. Cough, cough, Love Island. More on that momentarily. But let's see, where did it all begin? So I always have so many different things going on. That is just who I am. I am what they call an overachiever. But with the podcast and the job, it's a lot. Well, what y'all didn't really know is behind the scenes, I've also been like looking for a new job. I'm not going to get into all of that because that's like a different episode for a different day and that has a lot of nuance to it. With that said, I've been looking for a while. The job market is not ideal. So for all of my friends out there who are in it with me, hugs. And eat some candy because it's emotional. Dear me. So I've been applying and getting rejections. I've gone through referrals, the whole ship and caboodle. So part of why my focus was looking for a job is back in April, March, I was like, universe, whoever is listening, please help me figure out, do I need to spend my efforts looking for a house or looking for a job? Because doing both and working my actual job and doing the podcast and everything else was just a little too much. You know what I mean? So I was like, please someone help me because I'm immobilized. I already have task paralysis. So imagine how that translates to my life when I have like all these huge things that, take up a lot of time and energy. Well, let's just say the universe was like, here's your answer. So I started looking for a job. Well, I try not to get discouraged. It's easier said than done. I mean, I've been through the trenches in my own mental health. So, I'm not trying to say I've got it figured out, but I can pick myself up by the bootstraps a little bit easier than I used to. You know what I mean? So rejection. After rejection, some of these were even through, like most of these actually were through referrals. So like, it just is not an ideal time. And, no conversation around the economy, but like, what the hell's going on? I don't even know. But anyways, I found this role that seemed perfect for what I was looking for. And I'm going to try to say this story without it sounding too cheesy, but let's just say everything was lining up. Not only was this exactly what I was looking for, the way in which the timeline was working and the way in which my projects were lining up, it was like transitions, like, ooh, this is clear. Like, it just seemed like everything was working out. And one thing that I've talked about and one thing that I've also been like holding on is like, I'm about to enter my season of winning. I've been through this shit. And I mean, not to say that I can control how my life goes. Like, that's a whole other conversation between, is it fate? Do we have choice? That's some things I've been musing over lately. But what I mean is like, I want to claim it. I want to own it. I want to be confident because through this whole journey of life, really, but just, making the choice, feeling like I was being guided into where I need to spend my efforts and my focus, I felt like, oh, wow, this has all been building up to this, right? And then how it kept working out and like the check marks it was hitting and it was interview after interview. And before I knew it, I was all the way through every final round. Every single round of interviews. I had gotten through every single round. To the point that, I'm just going to be honest, the hiring manager was like, I'd hire you right now if I could. because I still had a few more rounds at that point in the game. So with this feeling of, whoa, I think this is it, and feeling that in my gut, in my intuition, and then like, rather than being insecure or having imposter syndrome or thinking, oh, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, I was like, no, fuck that. I am good enough. I'm claiming it. I've been busting my ass doing like 2 jobs with the podcast on my actual job and trying to do this and also look for a house and keep my sanity and also like cry every other week because I miss my dog so freaking much. Like, it's a lot. But somehow I'm not like getting taken under, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get through. I am gonna do the damn thing. Because I've been at my rock bottom. I'm not going back. Well, you know what I mean? Like, not going back, like I owe it to myself to keep going. So I claim it. I'm owning it. People, I didn't really share it with a lot of people, but those that I did, my mom, my family, like some of my friends, they were like, wait, this is your job. This is it. Like, we all felt it. It was a weird thing, right? Right. And then randomly, like a week after the final interview, I get an automated rejection email. Automated meaning, dear ma'am, right? So not really personalized, very just, wow, humbling. Sure, we'll just say that word for now. But like, to be honest, any place I've ever interviewed, especially if I've actually interviewed, even if it was just like a recruiter screening, I've always at least had like a person respond back to me. So that was fun, to make it through every round. I was devastated. I was crushed. I was desperate to get out of my current job because I'm ready for things to change. Like, I'm ready for the next step. We've been in this apartment. I've been in this job for so many years. It's time for me to grow and spread my wings because I just don't feel like I'm being challenged enough. But at the same time, I do see opportunity there, but you need to pay me more, right? I need to make more money. I need to make more money to be able to comfortably afford my groceries and not feel like, oh, well, I could like starve for lunch today and like maybe skip dinner tomorrow. I'm just kidding. It's not that dramatic, but like also groceries are fucking expensive. So call me when your grocery bill is like under $100. That'd be great. Because I feel like even as a single person, it would still be ghastly. But anyways, I digress. So feeling like I've been stuck, even though I haven't been giving up, because I've been feeling this momentum and making little progress here and here with the podcast, with this, and trying to make sure my personal life is staying with it and trying to keep it all together, and just also not crumble by the pressure of like the mountain I feel like I'm holding of all these big time, energy consuming things I'm focusing on. And struggling to be like, I don't know how to let go of some of it. That's why I was like, focus on the house, focus on the job. Let's focus on the job. So to finally, after so long, feel like I was finally there, and to feel it and to claim it, and to, for real, not have imposter syndrome, not second guess myself. Literally was not insecure. It was wild. It was the first time, like, really, where I was like, wow, my inner narrative is not at all gaslighting me. This is so wonderful. Oh, nice to meet you, Liz. I love you. And then to get that, and then to get the rejection, like, it devastated me. And it was more than just like not getting the job. Sure, that hurt my ego. Sure, it made me frustrated. Like, why do I keep getting rejections? What am I missing here? How come I keep getting so close so many times, and then it's like I just out of reach. That's what it feels like. It's just out of reach. And then I was devastated because I felt like I really believed in myself. At the time, I was like, for the first time, I really believed in myself. But that's kind of what it felt like. The first time to like truly like send it. You know what I mean? Like, not doubt myself at friggin' all. And feeling, wow, it didn't work out. The one time that you truly like put yourself on a limb in terms of like self-belief, and you got rejected. Feeling like I was finally going to be able to break out of my, break into a new role, break into a new opportunity, a new chapter, and feel a little less stuck, because then, make more money. Maybe you can comfortably afford the house better. You can afford a better house. You can afford a home at least more comfortably at bare minimum, because homes are crazy expensive. And I just sat there with it. I was devastated. I wanted to give up. I was like, what is it all for? I am so tired of being rejected. and feeling like I'm chasing my tail, getting nowhere fast, knowing that I have to let go of some of this stress so I can get more done and feel like a freaking sane person half the time. But I don't know how because I got to work. I'm not giving up the podcast. That's part of the struggle. That's just part of the come up story. What about all this other shit? What do I do? And yes, as somebody with ADHD and maybe borderline control issues, I would like a friggin' manual of the choices I need to make to get to the path I want. But that's part of life. But anyways, I was really sad. I was in a hole. I think the biggest thing was feeling like I lost my spirituality, like I lost my connection to something more than myself, right? Like, I don't want to use the word religion because it's not that, but I don't know. Maybe it comes down to like a disconnection from myself and my core beliefs of me. Thank God I also had therapy that week. So that was like crucial timing. We like when those things like line up perfectly, right? So not to get into all the weeds and details really of the hindsight 2020 afterthoughts, after reflections. I want to say that, 3 or 4 days after I got the rejection email. Oh, actually, before I even get to that point, what really, really fun salt in the wound, like 2 days after the automated rejection email, the recruiter reaches back out to me and is like, hey, you should hear next steps next week. And I'm like, excuse me. I got a rejection email. So what does that mean? And then they were like, oh, I guess the team decided. So that was fun. Very dramatic. Dun, 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 dun. It's not even an ego thing. I'm just like, well, like I feel like Olaf from Frozen during summer, like without the little like magical cloud, he's just like, I'm having a good time, but he's melted, that's like where I was mentally, like, oh, this is good. This is good. This is fun. So anyways, like 4 days after I get the notice that I'm no longer moving forward, I couldn't ignore the fact that although I was numb, I was still getting things done. So I picked up that this was a different type of depression than the first one that I remembered, like the one that was like my rock freaking bottom, because I was washing my face, I was brushing my teeth, I was making sure I was eating all my meals, I was sleeping, not great, but like I was sleeping, I immediately noticed, okay, this isn't horrible because like I'm taking care of myself. That's great. Okay, cool. I still felt numb. But there was like this voice literally inside me, like just over and over again, like you can't give up. No matter how many tears I cried, no matter how much I just was like, forget the universe, screw you, turning my back. What benefit have you been but me just believing myself to be shat in the mud? Fuck the universe. Fuck my ability to get a new job. Just fuck it all. That's really how I felt, but also with like lots of crocodile tears. I was in my feels. Despite all of that, there was this voice in me. This voice that was just like, you can't give up, bitch. Like you can't, like, it was a little bit nicer at first. It was like, I know you're hurting, but you can't give up. I know you want to, but you can't give up. I know it's hard. You can't give up. Some people have it easier, you're right, but you can't give up. Some people have it harder. You can't give up. Like every single scenario running through my head. And after sitting with myself and not putting pressure on myself because, well, I felt numb. I was in a rut, I was on a rock and a hard place. I wasn't feeling the jumble of thoughts because I've like, I gotta go do this and do that and do that. And blah, blah, blah. Like maybe my ADHD wasn't activated, so to speak, if that makes any sense. And I realized, okay, I'm taking care of myself, but also I'm still doing things. Like the week I got rejected, I put out an episode. I was still able to edit it. And ironically, it was the feelings one. Kind of, not that I forgot what the topic was, but like I wasn't thinking about it when I went in to edit it. And then I was like, oh shit, I need to hear this message this week. How fitting. And so I started reflecting over the week. Definitely not the first few days because this happened on a Monday. Way to kick off your week. You're rejected. Couldn't send it to me Friday. So I could just take the weekend. No, we had to wait till Monday at like 2 p.m. Love that for me. Anyways, if anyone is listening who is a recruiter or in a role position to hire, think about the shit I'm saying and just be considerate. Give them the weekend. Okay. Anyways, the story is almost over, I promise. Because we're getting to the good part. through my disarray, because I can joke about it now, but at the time, shit was not good. I was feeling bleak. I'm reflecting, okay, this isn't the rock bottom. Like, obviously I'm taking care of myself. And then I'm looking at like my work and my to-do list. I put that in quote marks because like I always have like 1,000 to-do lists. And I realized, oh shit, I'm actually knocking things off. So I sat with that. I sat with the fact that I was still accomplishing things, but I felt numb. And I also kind of felt like I was turning my back on the world because I felt like the world and the universe are turning its back on me, so to speak. Hey, it happens. Devastation leads to dark thoughts. It is what it is. I am who I am. And then I started sitting more with the numbness, the pain, the hurt, the disappointment, the ego. And I journaled, got some things out, and I kept coming to this question of, why do I go back to this mantra, this comment of, why am I not enough? So in this whole experience, it helped me kind of like start to unpack some things that I hadn't really thought about. And also like, wow, this drives a lot of anxiety in things that I do. And like this feeling that I'm less than, like, you're not going to be successful because like, you're just not that person to be. So that's a whole different conversation. We call those child wounds. Hopefully me just spilling all my guts on this podcast is not like scaring anybody. I'm just being very open. I'm an open book. I can't help it. It is what it is. I mean, also like you're listening to me. So like, I think you like it. I hope you like it. If not, this just got very awkward. But in my introspection, in my journaling, in this lost era feeling, really depression, but lost era feels better because what is lost, you can be found. No pun intended, not to be cheesy, but also rediscovery. And I'm like, wait a second. This numbness is letting me get more done. I'm not feeling pressure by my like, compulsive thoughts and this and this and that and that. And like, I gotta do this. I'm distracted. Gotta do that. Ha, hoo. How can I take that into my day to day, but like minus the numb feeling? And so I've been really focused on the pressure. Like anytime I feel pressure to do stuff, anytime I feel pressure, like not even just stuff like activities, social outings, whatever, but like pressure from myself. Like I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, let's address that. So I am rewiring my nervous system, anxiety. I don't fucking know, but I am trying to work on the pressure I put on myself so that I can get more done and more clear things done. Because in this period of like numbness, the past 2 weeks, I've gotten so much done. I started a macrame project, which is like the knotting of the threads. It's not like crochet or anything like that, but it's like, I don't know, Google it. MACROME, something like that. Hopefully I just spelled that right, or else I probably sound like an idiot. I wasn't even thinking that. That just came out on autopilot. So anyways, put it into like Siri, like macrame. Alexa, macrame. But I did that. I read more than I have probably all year. I'm almost done with this freaking book. Shout out to Thrones of Glass. Is that what it's called? Glass of Thrones? Thrones of Glass? It's that Sarah Maas book. Anyways, all this to say, sometimes when things don't work out, it's okay to feel. It's okay to fucking feel. It's okay to feel lost. I mean, I still feel a little like I'm overwhelmed. What am I doing with my life? But I'm also like seeing how, okay, there's all these other small things starting to work out in other areas of my life that like I have also been working on, job things, house things, whatever. So it's like, okay, well then what was guiding me to this job experience, this interview experience, this whole like, this is what I need to be focusing on anyway. So I'm not giving up. She's not. And, I talked about how like that week that I got the rejection, I did the feelings episode. Weirdly enough, I really needed that message that week for myself. Then I start catching up on a lot of podcasts that I've been wanting to listen to. And the first one I listened to is all about rejection and how it's redirection. And I'm just like, wait a second, what? So all of a sudden I'm getting all these messages of like why you can't give up, why every huge successful person has that big moment where they're like, wait, shit, it didn't work out again. And this one was big. What do I do? Like, I'm never going to make it. Like, I keep trying years and years, and then boom, you do have your big break. You have your big moment. Like, everyone's failure, rejection is a part of their story. And I'm not saying like I had to feel all this way just to get knocked down, to make the way down to the next step. But maybe I did. Maybe I do. Maybe it's a testament to how I came out of it. I didn't let myself just sit there. I also want to say I think it's the fact that I had that voice that was like, you can't give up is like a testament to all the work I've done. Like the constant effort of like, all right, we are retraining the narrative because we're going to talk to ourselves nicely because survey says we deserve it. Anyways, I know this has kind of gone all over the place, but that's where I've been. Your girl's been a little lost. And shout out to my friend Kristen from the A Little Bit A Lot podcast. Her and I talked like the Friday following, like that Friday after I got the email. And we talked for like, I don't know, a couple of hours actually. And it was exactly what I needed because one, she's amazing, love her. But also being able to talk to a creative friend, especially a podcasting friend, about all the shit that we're doing. And we're both trying at the same levels, trying to do our content, create our content. And what, if you tried this, does this work? This, like, we're just out here hustling, but also really just like faking it till we make it. So I could have that camaraderie and like that workshopping with her and just like honestly venting sometimes of like, ugh, let's feel sorry for myself for just half a second. But then I was also inspired because, we didn't stay low for long. We were talking about what's next and what we're going to do and how I'm going to pivot or what I'm going to do and she's going to do. And just, it was amazing. And I remember, it was like during the conversation when I was telling her my rejection and this, that, and that. I was like, so yeah, my therapist said it's depression. It's going to be fine. Like, I'll get through it, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, or it's just your Lost Girl era. And I was like, Kristen, that's genius. I friggin' love that. So shout out to Kristen. I'm in my Lost Girl era. Anyone listening, if you're in your Lost era, Lost Girl, Lost Guy, Lost whatever, hey, I'm right there with you and there's nothing wrong with it. I came back with a great episode. I still put out content last week. I got so much shit going on. I started doing my hobbies and interests again. I haven't felt near as stressed as I did before I got the rejection email. Because sometimes you just need a refresher. And sometimes that refresher, and maybe refresher is not the right word. You just need that check. And maybe it's rejection. I don't think it's a pivot. I think it's just a test to my character of how I handle the rejection, how I handle the loss, how I pick myself back up by the bootstraps. And I choose to do that because what do I always say? I say a lot of things. But we're here for a blip. Life's so short. Life is crazy. It's amazing and crazy that we get to experience life. So I'm not going to give up because there is still that feeling that I'm going to say it, that knowing that I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to make this thing happen. This dream of mine, these dreams of mine. So I encourage you, if you're feeling rejected, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling just, exhausted, overwhelmed, tired, frustrated, all of the things, it's okay. Sit with it. Sit with it, remove the pressure, and just sit with it. Heal from it, grieve from it. Grief, there is all friggin' different kinds of grief. I am coming to learn. There is the deep, heart-wrenching, life-defying grief of losing someone so close to you. And then there's the grief of these kind of losses. The grief and loss of like what you thought your life was going to be. You thought where your life was going, like not to be like dramatic about it, but it's okay. We're going to have these moments. And like, obviously I'd be crazy to think this is the last rejection I'm ever going to receive. Of course not. Of course I'm going to get more rejections, but hopefully maybe next time I won't be as devastated and get knocked down as much as I did this time. Maybe I will though. And if so, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I'm grateful that I have a great partner, Stan. Shout out to my love. He is fantastic and he's been so supportive. My mom, I've got a really, really great support system. So I'm very grateful for that. So this is your note that they can try and knock your girl down, but she's always going to get back up. Okay, so now that we have gotten through the Lost Girl era, let's talk about what's going on. Yes. Okay, so, all right. In my, Lost Girl era, which we're still kind of in, which we are still in, but we're feeling better about, maybe I should say, I have binge watched Love Island USA Season 6. Now, you all know that I am not a reality TV girly. All right, I'm just not. I know I could be. I just don't have time for it. But also, like, I would get into it, and maybe not every show would be like this, but I know that I would get very frustrated because at some point in my head, I'm going to be like, this motherfucker is probably making so much money now, and this is so frustratingly stupid and annoying. And also, this is definitely a setup. I think that's really my thing when it comes down to is like the setups. Because, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'll watch interviews with reality TV people and I'm like, you're nothing like your reality TV like persona. So like it's all an act. I don't know. I digress. Now I feel like I'm just going on some weird side tangent. But with that said, if you've been living under a rock, you probably haven't heard. But if you've touched Instagram and or TikTok at any given point the past like 2 months, you've heard of Love Island. I'm sure of it. So I kept seeing all this chatter about it. And I was like, I need to watch this. Like, I feel like I need to get into this. So I had a girls' weekend where we make maid candles and all this. And I feel like maybe I did talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, my girlfriend Sam introduced me to Love Island this season. And I was hooked. I was like, this is kind of cool. I know it's like a weird concept, all these strangers like living in a villa, like cameras on them, like Big Brother style. But, you know, I'm into it. It's like, you know, they got games, challenges about finding romance, but they're all just vibing, hanging out. I'm into it. So I watched, like, there was one weekend in the past 2 weeks where Stan went fishing in Blue Ridge. And I think I watched 20 episodes over the course of like 2 days. I'm obsessed. I watched that shit in 3 weeks. I watched 35 friggin' episodes in 3 weeks. Do you know how much time that is for somebody who, like I already mentioned in the first 20 freaking minutes, like I'm overwhelmed by this shit going on, but let me just tackle in like 35 plus hours of reality TV? When I take it back, absolutely not. Do I feel cultured? I'm not going to lie. I do. Yes. I feel like I am internet cultured, and that feels so high. Any millennial telling you that they don't really care to not be on trend is full of shit. To be a part of the conversation feels so freaking good. I can think of a few people listening right now that know me that are probably cringing so hard, but I don't care. Let me live. But despite being cultured on the internet, it was good TV, okay? Like, of course there's problematic characters, but there was like so much heart and like love and friendship and loyalty and support and healthy conversations. I was shocked because my opinion of reality TV is definitely not much of any of the words I just used. Sure, there was the problematic people, the problematic things, the you piece of you know what, why you doing that? But overall, it was just amazing. And all I gotta say is August 19th is the reunion. And I cannot freaking wait. That's all I want to say. I cannot freaking wait. I cannot wait. I always joke about how I'm a podcaster who's really bad about listening to podcasts. Well, just go into the little good old depression bucket and, you know, refine yourself, refine your hobbies, rediscover your hobbies, rediscover your interests. Here I am freaking reading a book. Here I am freaking macrameing. Here I am watching TikToks and being a part of the conversation and also knowing what the hell they're talking about because, well, your girl's seen mother effing Love Island doing this, doing that. And I'm like, oh, I love this. I love this for me. I feel like myself again. I mean, I've been listening to podcasts. I always say I'm really bad about catching up with my podcasts as a podcaster, and your girl's been listening to podcasts. Why? Love Island. Getting my ass back up in the podcast. I've listened to so many podcasts that I don't listen to normally. Vile Files. Call Her Daddy. Well, I listen to Call Her Daddy sometimes, but I didn't listen to that one. I just watched clips. Shame on you for interviewing Rob. Side note, that's a different conversation. Honestly, I'm just going to say this. I love Love Island so much that I honestly want to make a bonus episode where I just share my thoughts and feelings. Is there any interest in that? Does anybody care about Love Island? Like Liz's pop culture roundtable, where the roundtable is me, myself, and I. And I can just go through all the freaking podcasts I've listened to, the TikToks I've seen, and just not that like, okay, maybe I should just like slow my roll. I have had a life outside of this. I am just more so like, wow, your girl has sunk her teeth and claws into this damn show, and I love it. I want to be Leah's friend. I want to be Serena's friend. Janae, oh, she's my girl. PPG, I want to be a part of PPG. I want to be their friends. Side note, if I was single, I actually think I would love to be on one of these shows because, like, not for me finding love, because, like, whatever, but, like, I would be a character. I would have so much fun. Maybe I'd be the villain. I don't know. Man, some of these people I'd be like, all right, listen here, buddy. Stop being an asshole. Anyways, I'm getting crazy. If you've watched it, I need to talk about it. Maybe I will do a bonus episode. But Love Island has consumed me. So shout out to getting back in touch with myself, rediscovering my interests, finding a new obsession, and somewhere along the process trying to, I don't know, keep the flow of no pressure, but also like not feel like I'm so much in a rut still. You know what I mean? Like feeling positive. I'll get there. Still obsessed with Chappell Roan, of course. God, I love Chappell Roan. I saw someone say that she's like our generation's Freddie Mercury. I don't want to say that because like he is amazing and like I don't want to like take away from anything that he represents to anyone, especially me. Not that he represents, I don't even know why the fuck I just said that. That was like so dramatic. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some Freddie Mercury. Love me some Queen. But like, I just made it seem like this man's my idol. I don't even know if I have an idol. Maybe Glennon Doyle or Heather McMahon. Anyways, wow. Okay. So where was I? Generations, Freddie Mercury. I think she's her own thing. Sure, she's got elements of other people, but honestly, that bitch she is incredible. I am obsessed with her more than anything. And one of these days I will meet her and I'll have her on the podcast and we'll be best friends. And, yeah, God bless. I love her. Chappell. If you're hearing this, Chappell, which I know that's like the slimmest chance to none, but like give your girl a call. So, okay. Let's see. Other things to talk about before we talk about a few life updates and then I'll get out of here. So some things have been going on politically. Blink, 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 blink. Like, what the fuck? I try not to talk about politics, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But one more time, what the fuck? The thing that I will say is Kamala's running for president. Okay. Her campaign's unhinged. Okay. I'm obsessed. Okay. The one political thing I'm going to talk about is Kamala's campaign. It's genius. If you haven't seen it, you probably haven't been on TikTok then, but she's really tapped into that Charlie XCX brat summer, like the green with the brat. I'm sure you've seen that too. And it's just like crazy, whatever. Like, I mean, whether she has Gen Z interns, whether it's some like, I saw this one video that was like, that is some old millennial that has seen every corner of the internet, making her campaigns. Either way, even if it's all of the above, I just want to marvel at the fact that she's trying to tap into the 40 million Gen Z eligible voters for this upcoming election. So she is literally trying to pander to this audience, this huge 40 million eligible voters for this election. That is fucking genius. So now I feel like I got to go research her because I really don't know much. I don't know much about nothing, I'm coming to realize, but I also know a lot about some things. So it's just like, you know what? You just keep going. You just keep going. You just keep swimming. All right. That was weird. Sorry. Anyways, politics. I don't know what the hell's going on. WTF, but like shout out to Kamala's campaign. I'm here for it because I'm like, you know what? Genius. Anyways, one other thing that I saw on the internet that I thought was, one other thing that I saw on the internet that I thought was very interesting. Half the time, I don't know if these things are real because they seem so ridiculous. I'm like, this has got to be fake. Like, this is not real, right? But it was like some AI company that is putting out a companion necklace, and it's not supposed to do anything like order your food, like an Alexa or like a Siri. It's like literally something that is always on, that listens to you, that you can talk to and talks back. It's like they're calling it Friend. Now, I didn't really deep dive too much into this, but it was like in my little tech business newsletter I get every morning. And the owner, founder, whatever, spent $1.8 million to secure the friends.com domain. So www.friends.com. Apparently there's some tea, some drama with it. I mean, my first initial reaction is, who the hell's going to buy this? And like the newsletter like commented on other failed AI wearable technology launches that didn't get anywhere. I don't know. I mean, I could see someone who's lonely maybe wanting it. So like, I don't want to talk like smack about it, but it's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just their advertisement for it was so weird. It was like, I saw a lot of people talking about how they thought it was like a Black Mirror announcement. Just go watch it. Go Google Friends AI wearable ad, and then come back and tell me how you felt, because I felt a little weirded out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I feel like I shouldn't feel weird, but I feel very weird by this. Okay, moving on. So, before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit about what the hell's been going on in my life outside of like, the first half of this episode. So a couple of things. One, we put an offer on a home. Oh my God, yeah. We're not getting the home. Oh my God, no. I'm okay. That's a rejection I actually could handle. The thing I'm going to say about this is me and Stan are not going to get bamboozled by a home. All right? We're not. We know what we can afford, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. I have seen enough homes to know that there's negotiations and here and there and there and there. But if you tell me a group of investors, that was where you failed the first time, a group. So you're telling me a group of people own this home. A group of investors are being greedy, and then they want to play hardball, but then they keep coming back to us because our financing's so strong. I'm not going to budge. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be budged, because guess friggin' what? If I've lived in this freaking apartment as long as I have now, I can live in it a little bit longer. I mean, what is my sanity? Some more. Like, who needs their sanity nowadays? Everyone's crazy out there. So, like, let me just join them. I might actually feel better about things. Life might be more fun. If you can't beat them, join them. Let's all just go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Anyways, it was a good exercise, because we've never actually fully put an offer on a home. And, we have a new realtor, and I just have to be honest, no hate, no shade to the past realtor, but like, very different experiences. It was like crazy, like crunching the numbers, not crunching, but like going back and forth with the lender, getting this, getting that to like, come up with the right offer. But it really wasn't as stressful and crazy intensive like I thought it was going to be. Basically, like, our other realtor was going to make us come up with everything on our own, like earnest money, this and this, that and that, day periods, due diligence, like all this shit that I'm like, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know any of this. And our realtor, our new one's like, oh no, I take care of all that for you. I just go over it with you. And I'm like, oh, God bless you. God, you're so amazing. So, fun fire drill. I'm not disappointed. The house wasn't like perfect, but like it was really great. It was like enough to like put an offer on. So we'll see. Here's the fun fact. That group of investors, they keep coming back with us, trying to like make us change our offer because they like our I guess our I don't know, financing. I don't freaking know. It's all just a game, and I feel like I'm the one getting played, but at some point you just have to accept it, because that's part of playing the game. Anyways, before I get disgruntled about that, the truth is, who knows? Maybe this is our house, because like it's been 2 weeks now and they keep coming back. So they keep coming like closer and closer to like the number we want. So we'll see. I'm not holding my breath. Right. The other thing I was going to talk about, and I told myself that I was going to research this before I brought it up to the pod, but of course your girl, ding, 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 has not. However, I have to tell you about it. So my mom will send me some like, not like conspiracy theory crazy, like videos, reels, whatever on TikTok or Instagram, but like she'll send me some things where I'm like, all right, where did you find this? This is silly. But like also she'll send me a lot of like massage therapy, stretching, mobility, things like that, because like my mom was a massage therapist back in the day. Well, she sends me this one reel that was about like EMF waves from your Apple Watch and how it can cause pain. Now, you guys know I have chronic pain. It's such a great time. My neck, shoulders, knees, and toes. Just kidding, really my neck and shoulders, but also my hips. So I'm watching it, and before I even like, I'm like 5 seconds in, I'm like, okay, what the hell is this about your Apple Watch causing pain? So it's some chiropractor. He's talking about EMF waves in your wrist and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm like really butchering the story now that I realize it, but he's like using this guy, stretching his neck and showing the difference when he takes the watch off. Whether or not that was Houdini shit or not, it was enough where I was like, huh. So my first reaction is always to go to the comments. So you get through all the crazy comments and then you start getting to people going, no, there's some truth here, this or this, that or that, whatever. This is not me saying that I believe in EMF waves. I don't really understand what they are completely. However, when I Googled it, I find all of these articles on apple.com, like, Apple's community support system, or not support system, but like, like the community forums or whatever when you need support. And I'm seeing so many people talk about EMF with their Apple Watch or their AirPods. And then like you see these other articles and like they're not just like random weird third-party blog sites, like reputable sources talking about EMF blockage altogether, not just like specific to Apple. But it's enough where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm always in mother effing chronic pain. I will try this exercise just for fun because I am somebody who wears their Apple Watch every single day. I don't sleep in it, but I wear it every single day. Y'all, 2 days I have not been wearing my motherfucking Apple Watch. Don't ask me how. I don't even have the words to communicate the lack of pain, or I should say I still have pain. I still have my chronic pain, but it's the lack of additional pain. The fact that my neck and my shoulders haven't been cramping and getting so tight that I'm miserable as much as they have been the past 6 months. What the fuck? For my Love Island fans, in the words of Kaylor, fuck. Seriously, what the fuck? What? I'm not saying take off your Apple Watch. I'm just saying if you have pain and you chronically wear your Apple Watch, take it off and just try. 2 days. 2 freaking days. I can't believe it. I'm shook. So now I'm having to deal with the borderline identity crisis of not wearing my Apple Watch because I'm like, oh, it's not there. That's awkward. And then being like, oh, I can't tell the time right off the bat. I can't look at my calendar right off the bat. I feel like a piece of me is gone. But I'm like, all right, it's technology, Liz. Get the fuck over yourself. So we're moving forward, moving on. Gosh. So EMF waves, apparently that's a thing. I don't know if it's affecting me because of my injuries and I don't know. My trigger points, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it's what is the amoeba effect or something where you think I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but hopefully for those who have an idea, get it. And if you don't, well, welcome to my life. I don't even know what that means. But moving forward, watch your Apple Watches and watch your AirPods. So the last thing I want to update you on is, well, I'm about to bust out because I'm hungry as hell. Got to go eat. Got so much to do because I'm going to New Orleans for my girl Maggie's bachelorette. I'm going to eat so much effing Cajun food. I hope I don't hurt my stomach because I don't really do spicy, but spicy's going to do me. That's for damn sure. Can't wait. It's supposed to be hotter than a witch's tit. So whatever that phrase even means, I don't even know. But the point being, I don't know what to wear because I hate being hot and sticky and I feel like I'm going to be hot and sticky. So that's fun. But the last thing I want to mention, have I talked about this on the podcast? I can't remember, but I am trying to, I think I have talked about this on the podcast. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to pitch some New York people, creators, influencers, artists, chefs, all of the things, podcasters to join me for an episode on The In-Between while I'm in New York at the end of August. Well, it is August, end of the month. So I've used ChatGPT to kind of help me with the email templates because it's hard getting out of your own way and getting out of your own head. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, ChatGPT, for being my resource there. But trying to suss through, because I don't want to send just a generic email, because we know how that makes people feel. But I don't want to just send something because I will get random people from podcast management companies pitching me the most randomest people that honestly I would never interview. You know what I mean? I don't want to say, I don't care about what they have to talk about, but it's their vibe, their brand, their shtick, whatever. It's not for me, not for y'all, not for what we want, right? And then the same podcast management company will send me 3 different people, and like the beginning of their emails are always the same. And it's like, I love your podcast. The in between, that last episode was great. It's like so generic. And like, honestly, as someone like me who, is a small fry trying to pretend they're a big fry at the moment, like, I don't like that. I mean, I don't like go and cry about it and take it to heart, but I'm just like, ugh, I always want to make sure I'm personable. So that's where I'm like overthinking it. But like researching, making sure I'm like, trying to find the best parts of the person, but like, the things that I think really resonate, like that I like about them, that I think we can connect on, whatever. So the point I'm trying to make is the energy and effort it puts, or it takes to put into these emails, like I was not prepared for. So throw in the imposter syndrome with it. I'm just like over here exhausted. I've only sent 4. I just need y'all to root for me and be like, girl, don't be nervous. Don't be insecure. Stop thinking you ain't the thing. You are the thing. You're going to be the thing because you are the thing. And like, shoot your freaking shot. It's like, I'm like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like they ignore you. Okay. But like somehow that, which is like the truth, has now turned into they're going to ignore you because you're pathetic, because like you do not have a bajillion followers. And not that I'm trying to reach out to people with billions of followers, because like also I know the lane I'm supposed to stay in. But a couple 100,000, I'm just like, hi guys. Sure, I am a millennial former theater kid who loves self-love. Be my friend. I'm just kidding. I hope I'm more than that. But anyways, God, this is more of a rhetorical question, but it's just root for your girly, because I like major imposter syndrome vibes, but it's going to work out. I hope. I feel like it. It's got to. It's going to. What are the odds of like 1 out of 4 like saying yes? I feel like I need more. So also, if you have any New York City, New York, like people that you think, oh my gosh, you have to reach out to this person, would love your notes. Probably need to get this handled ASAP, because like this is going to be like in 4 weeks, but we'll get there. Anyways, I've had enough of your time. It's been great to be back, great to connect. I have a fantastic guest coming on the podcast next week. Her name is Rosa Castano. Gonna save that for next week, but y'all are in for a treat. It's gonna be great. And yeah, we'll just keep going. So hang in there. Remember, rejection is just a part of the life, just a part of the story, just a part of the chapter. It's a bump in the road, and you will get through it. Sit in the feelings and just know that like you can't give up. And whatever is waiting for you is literally around the corner. I promise. Don't be like me and think, well, I've been saying that for months now. Years, it feels like. No, it's coming. It's all been building towards this. And that's the truth. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Pray that I don't melt in New Orleans, but also pray that I eat my body's worth in Cajun food. And if you're not doing so already, please follow me on Instagram at ElizabethCheney_ and at @InBetweenPod, YouTube and TikTok at The In Between Podcast. So give your girl some love. Send me a follow, send me a message, send me a hi. Also, if you're enjoying the podcast, I'd really appreciate a rating, review, subscribe, follow, all the things, whether it's Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And that would be great. Those are my housekeeping things before I let you out of here. So on that note, have a great week. Live your best life. Live your best self. Remember you're special. Remember, no matter what, it's coming. Just don't give up. Don't give up. And also know that sometimes pivoting, redirection, it's not giving up. It's just evolving, right? Like plans change, dreams change, things grow. Man, this thing's evolved way more than what it originally was going to be. And that's the beauty and journey of it. So it being life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So on that note, I'll let you go. I'll see you next week on All New In Between. I'm Elizabeth. Bye.